Ladies and gentlemen, that was a little intro with it. Grok provided us with that intro. This is, as you can see up here, New American Vision. This is New American Vision. I am not the face of American Vision. No one is the face of American Vision, but I am starting off this founding episode, this launch episode. We got some good discussion in the bank for you that we are going to have today. But just to intro everybody that we have today, and I will pass it to them here in a second. We have the obvious world champion, OG world champion, John Ward in here. We have Aaron from Atlas Thugged. He hosts Offensively Accurate. Wow, I got that little tongue twister there. Offensively Accurate on his channel. The links are in the description for all of these. And then obviously Josh is in studio with me. We're going to have a decent conversation, hopefully, if not a great conversation. It is Sunday, the Lord's Day, and we are going to enjoy that and be glad in it. So, who wants to take it first? John, little intro for anyone that, I mean, you've been around forever, dude. You're like old. I mean, you're literally about to blow away. John's literally about to blow away, guys. This is John. You know, when John comes on screen, this is what I see. He doesn't see what I just showed you, but maybe he has an idea, and I'll pass it to him. John, welcome to the stream, brother.
Thanks a lot, Zeb. Very Jewish name you have. Suspicious of you already. Zeb and I met. I was buying silver. He was in there clipping the edges off of it. So that's how we got acquainted initially. Josh, I just realized your last name means of the north.
From the north, yes, that's correct.
No, it means of. Technically, no, okay, I don't care.
Really?
My name is John Ward. I'm the comic relief / as Zeb accurately said, ancient boomer to the Zoomers, I guess you could say. About 40 years old, we'll call it, an even 40. I am super thrilled to be a part of this, Zeb. Thanks for setting it up. This has been an idea not unique to me, but a lot of creators for a long time. It's something very necessary. It took a while, took me 10 years to find just 3 other guys who were willing to sit down and take their own time and not bicker over who was going to get the 3 cents of ad revenue and that sort of thing. So we'll talk.
Who is getting the ad revenue?
I am.
The Jew.
We're building this together, John. We're building it together.
Yes, I'm not interested in that sort of thing from this project anyway. So by all means, go buy yourself a stick of gum afterwards. You earned it. Maybe one day it'll make real money, but we're all coming at this from different angles. As you can tell, if I'm on your screen, I kind of caught up a bit lately in the past 5 years and not giving a fuck anymore. But in a good way, And so I see massive potential and talent that's already been realized mostly in Zeb and Atlas and those guys. So yeah, we'll get into the weeds here in a minute of exactly what we're doing and what I'm specifically doing. But that is my introduction. You can find me on YouTube, mostly John Ward Cinematics, on Twitter or X at Not John Ward, because I was banned in 2020 because I told Jack, the owner of Twitter at the time, that he was the combination of 2 words that are both racist and homophobic. And that was the end of my stint on Twitter, as it was known at the time. So Not John Ward now. You can find me pretty tiny on there, just kind of rage once in a while. I will turn it over now to whoever the man in charge would like to go to next.
Atlas, all yours, brother.
All right, yeah, it's hard to top that wonderful introduction there from John. But I'm the youngest one here, if you couldn't tell by my voice and my youthful face. But my introduction into this has been speed running the red pill, if you will. For anybody who's familiar with my content or is soon about to be, I basically come from I used to watch Tim Pool to very quickly realizing what a scam that is and what a joke he is, and going through October 7th, Nick Fuentes, basically a lot of realized truths happening to me very quickly, and I'm somebody who's not even willing, not even able to hold my tongue back. So I've been running the show Offensively Accurate for about 2 years now, and making that a podcast. You can find that on Apple Podcasts as well too. But I'm just basically here because it seems to me that there is a need for more representation for young white men in this country. That's been the biggest issue to me for the majority of a lot of this. And I even got in it through the manosphere, and just seeing how many men, even in my life personally, were kind of jaded about life in general and seemingly like there's no good answers for anything. And I felt like possibly I could give some of those good answers. And that's kind of a intro into me, and I'm just happy to be here. I'm kind of the smallest creator in this entire circle. Well, outside Josh, but he's kind of attached to Zeb.
Nice little
And whoever
parting
Zeb
gig.
would like to go to next.
I don't know, man. I just kind of blow up overnight, so I'm a run with that as fast as I can. So I have everybody on screen now. Josh, well, I'll let Josh get a little intro. We'll give
thanks.
Josh an intro, and then we'll jump.
Is Josh going to be our punching bag? He punches back pretty hard, so I think he's okay with it.
Starting to look that way, I guess.
A little sass in him.
All right,
Meow.
we'll take Josh off screen. And no, just kidding. All right, go ahead.
I'm going to call you Josh from the North constantly until you like.
Mr.
genuinely get-
Vandernord, go for it,
I
brother.
appreciate that, John. And yeah, as John said, I got a Jewish first name, Joshua, which I believe means of God or something like that, followed by a Dutch last name, which John corrected me. It doesn't mean from the North; it means of the North, which is fitting because I'm not a South Carolinian. I am from North Carolina, and I'm happy to be with these guys. You know, I'm technically, Atlas, I am younger than you. I'm only 28. And I got my bones in the media world, starting at App State in radio. Been doing radio for about a decade now, and that's how I got introduced to Zeb, dipping my toe into the world of this new crazy invention called the internet, and been working with Zeb on Outside the Overton, but now the host of the newly revitalized Joshua Vandernord Show. Just had my first debut episode yesterday. Not on the channel, however. Technical difficulties. But yeah, I'm excited to be here with you guys.
I'll re-upload it to the Joshua Vandernord channel. We are making a couple of changes. Let me get us all pulled up here. That way y'all can see our pretty faces. What a beautiful panel here. Minus Mr. Sippy Cup. But
Mr. Sippy Cup.
I called him at a bad time, dude. I called him at a bad time.
I'll
are
take
you
my
muted,
microplastics.
Atlas, or you mute yourself?
Yeah, I muted
Okay,
myself.
there you go.
My bad.
All right, this is New American Vision. Let me do a little bit of housekeeping before we jump too deep into conversation here. I want to thank everybody for being here. We have 33 likes. Obviously, no symbolism there. But if you want to change that for us, that would be fantastic. I know we have a decent amount of viewership right now, considering how new the channel is. We have Lord of the Ree, Tix Bomber, Mantra in here, a lot of world champions, if I will. We all stem from the same place. Cy Ghostish, is that your boy Atlas?
Yes, sir.
David, welcome. I want to thank everybody for being here. Like I said, this is a long game. We're playing a long game here. It's going to take a little bit of front loading, and that's what we're going to do. Frank is doing some heavy lifting back there. I know Tix Bomber wants to get in there and do some of that. So we're gonna build this together. We're gonna build this as a team, something decentralized. And if you come across anybody that you think would do well in here, if you or if not, if you just want them to be involved, maybe they have a different take on things than we do, and maybe that conversation should head in that direction. Please send them our way. We are New American Vision on YouTube and on X. Eventually, we will get premium whenever X gives it to us. It's under review
When's
right
the
now. So,
OnlyFans launch?
do what?
When's our OnlyFans channel launch?
You can go check out mine at no, I'm kidding.
Maybe we should get John to
I'm
start an
just going to
OnlyFans.
derail Zeb. I think my
Maybe we
sole
should-
purpose here is to just knock Zeb off his rhythm.
Maybe we
No, that
should
is-
get John to start an OnlyFans. John, do you think you could? I think you could make some money. We could get John to do a calendar shoot to promote his OnlyFans and fund New American Vision.
I'm down.
The New American Vision
Except when we
calendar.
win, then we ban OnlyFans. That's the goal.
No, that was a good point, though. Is no creator is too small. We want to be really clear about that. Again, some creators might be like no good. All right, we're not going to be your best friend necessarily. And as you've probably already gathered, there's a good deal of mudslinging that's going to go on here amongst friends, right? Good natured, but if you know somebody tough who has interesting thoughts, who's interested in getting into this, and then also on the back end, we have beyond this is much bigger than the people you're going to see on screen, and we're very appreciative for those people behind the scenes that are helping. They're doing incredible work. Again, another part is not just a collective show or network, but literally a platform, software, things like that are useful and free to all the creators that involved, and then kind of a single place to so it's paradoxically centralized and decentralized. So please reach out to us if you're interested. And this is, if you're
Yes.
joining from my channel, 3CC will not be live on this time. We're kind of putting that on the back burner, and we're using this as the Sunday show, if you were wondering.
Yeah, and in that same vein, we have a group chat going on. I know we've reached out to a few smaller creators that are in that, and they're probably in the chat right now. So thank y'all for being involved. Obviously, this is a launch episode, and we are going to build on from here. So if you are already in that group chat and you want to be, let's say you want to do a weekly show, you and somebody else, you and two other people, we can definitely make that happen. I know someone like Mainstream Dissonant. He has some decent content. If he wants to host something to the effect of what is nationalism across the board, him and maybe we could pick up. I don't know. Myself can come in every once in a while, once a month, and as long as someone can main a show, and that's their show, and then we can bring on other NAV creators from there, New American Vision creators, as we call it.
Well, I mean,
Ladies and
just be
gentlemen,
honest. I think it's going to
go
be
for it.
hard. Sorry to cut you off. Just be honest too. Like, there's a bit of it when we go into it. Like, we're just going to be able to see if a creator knows their stuff or not. So if you're somebody who's obviously not trying or not even putting the work in, we're going to be able to see through that. So don't bother. But if you are somebody who's putting the work in, we'd love to have you aboard.
And we'll see that as well.
Absolutely. And we're gonna have fun doing it.
That is key to this, real quick though, Zeb, is I'm not actually trying to derail you. A huge element this I learned is very important over 10 years of doing it is staying sane by having a little bit of fun. And I think we have lost sight of that a little bit. Maybe you guys aren't quite old enough to be as jaded as I am. But we do, I know this, like Zeb saying, this is an initial kind of launch episode. We will get to some actual discussion here, but we do want it to be fun. We want you guys to have fun. And more than anything, I desperately need to have some fun myself. So,
well, John used to have the most fun back in 2016, if anybody remembers. He original meme war veteran. I mean, that's when we were having fun. I want to get back to that. I don't know. Just the other day, I logged on to YouTube. I don't watch too much anymore. Too busy creating. But I logged on and I saw 2 John Ward videos in a day, and I was like, "What, dude? This is crazy." He actually does something. I'm just kidding. But yeah, no, we definitely appreciate John and his veteran intellect, and his learned skills, if you will, his mess ups. We want to learn from John's mess ups.
Thanks for trying, Zeb. Thanks for trying
His 4-year hiatus that he took on us. He just left us high and dry.
Too, I might as well plug this while you're shitting on me. My main interest now, and the reason I am going to be putting out more regular content, but been working for quite a while now. I think it's important that we put out some kind of feature film, not a documentary, not Dinesh D'Souza, right? Not Mike Cernovich, not What is a Woman, but just a genuine good time without 2 dudes kissing in the first 30 seconds, followed by the smartest character being an obese black woman, that kind of thing. I'm just tired of it. I always liked movies and stuff. I never really was political until 2016. I want to get back to that too. So if you're a film guy or you got like $50 million that you don't need, get in touch with me. But we're going to do it right. So that's what I am working on. It's coming. Just want to say.
That's what I'm excited for. I talked about that on my show yesterday, how basically how important Hollywood is. Like, you know, when we talk about politically all the institutions that need to be recaptured, we often talk about the education system, the political system, obviously. But I think that Hollywood is almost at the root of all these things. You see where a lot of this depravity came from, and it comes from movies. It comes from basically indoctrination through those things. And that's because, I mean, Jesus taught in parables. Why? Because that's the most effective way to teach people. And that's why I think that's I'm excited for some of the projects I know you've been working on, John. And I've got some things going behind the scenes too with Jack and KinoFlex, some movie related stuff. We're excited about all that.
Yeah, you're not wrong either about how you described it, because in a sort of objective way, as a scientist, you would call Hollywood propaganda. But I think it's more accurate to frame it as you did. It is the pulpit from which the filth is preached by the dark priests of Satan's asshole. And that is why it is funded. It is not a business. A lot of those things don't really make money, But clearly the left understands how critical and foundational that pulpit is. And yes, we do have churches and stuff. It's not an entire accident that I started 3CC on Sundays. And not that I think you shouldn't go to your churches and things like that, but there's another part of this that doesn't get talked about at our churches. And so in some ways, in my head, you guys can disagree or say, no, that's not true. But it's sort of it's 1,000 years before whatever church gets formed out of it, maybe. I don't know, something like that.
I like it.
Real quick, yeah, I mean, just to touch on that a little bit more, is we are going to have full feature-length film. I know John has been working on his. He can house it under his if he wants to, but it'll still be, I mean, the creators should be associated with each other, and we're going to build from there. Not trying to, put him in a corner right here, but we also
I
have
want you guys to be. I think a film with all creators as characters would be incredible. Yeah, I'm all for that.
that would be fun. We'd have to get together.
You can be Calvin Candy.
Let's do it, dude. I would run, dude. Let's go. I'll be Christoph Waltz in a second too. But yeah, but I mean, in the same vein, you have Josh that's going to do a little bit of pop culture with KinoFlex. We have, I think we have a couple of sports guys that want to get involved. I want to have a little bit of, bread and circuses, if you will, to some extent. I mean, if we're going to play the game.
Yes.
If we're going to win, we have to play the game to some extent. We don't have to play by their rules, but at some point we have to understand that the game has already been set, and it's not them that made the rules. It's just that the rules simply exist. And so from there, we have to extract, how do we win? How do we win on different levels? And one of those would be sports. One of those would be pop culture. One of those would be deep discussions that I hope to have here. One of those would be, I would like to call it constructive discussion rather than debates, but I definitely want to host debates on here between the creators and even outside voices. So definitely going to have that. Obviously, as long as they're good faith, we will continue that discussion. If anybody's got anything else before we dive into the question of who are we, I think that's what we need to define. Who is Nav4 specifically, or just generally? I know me and Josh have been talking about Netter recently. No enemies to the right. I think if that kind of encompasses where we're headed with this thing, we all know that the bad faith is so rampant on the left, and even largely in the center. So, do we, as we dive into this discussion, do we, I don't know, carve out a moderate right position, and anyone to the right of that can jump on board, or are we reaching out to some of the people on the left? And are there some names out there that would kind of fall under this idea of New American Vision?
It's a question of who's we. And it's a tough one to answer. This is one that I've gone back and forth with. I think I personally would stick to a much more narrow definition of who is we. I think even evidenced by the most recent leaking messages by Gavin Wax, it's clear,
Yep.
even if you have enemies close to you on the so-called right, how close are they to you ideologically? Does it matter if they have other biases that supersede that? So to me, it's I guess there's a couple ways we could really define it. I've always had this one slogan in my head since I said it in one of our previous meetings, which would be, the one network that's willing to say Christ is king. Right. And where does that position us? Does that make us automatically radical? Does that limit us too much? Or is that exactly right where we should be? And it's a great thought, because how many people could we pull from the left possibly if that was the slogan, if that was kind of the slant, no enemies to the right?
I prefer the phrase, Atlas, we are God's chosen people.
Amen.
I like that one. Where have I heard that for?
We are the few. We are the chosen.
L'chaim.
Are you casting spells on me, John? What is this?
Josh, that's your people, dude. That's
My
your
language. People. I'm pure European. Had to get rid of the curls as best I could for the flagship show. How'd I do?
I'll chime in on your Christ is King is shirt. You know, which side am I facing? It's always backwards, isn't it? When you go backwards, things come from behind you. I don't know. Is that limiting? What's the chat saying?
Here, I fixed you. Is that better, John?
I'm not sure. What is the chat saying? Let me pull it
up. Chat says they are chosen too. That's great.
There we go.
That's your people. That is Josh's people.
Yes, yes, come to me,
That is
children.
Josh's people.
All those Northerners.
yeah, exactly.
Circle Jerks in the chat, pattern recognition. Thank y'all for joining us. Mission Control.
Sounds like they're cool with it.
Thank you,
I
thank
think I
you.
can
Michigan Groiper in the chat. Also, on the back end of Michigan Groiper, I've been trying to push Josh to do some type of like Groiper review to kind of cover that space, and I think Atlas is on board with that too. That could definitely be a show that is housed on New American Vision, just to kind of keep an
Wouldn't want to
update.
tune into the Groiper report on Friday.
Fridays?
Yeah.
You doing
Friday
Fridays?
Groiper report.
Yeah, I'm down.
All right, there we go. Fixed it. Now we got 2 shows, Sundays and Fridays, right now. But yeah, we're gonna continue adding things. We're gonna continue adding things as we add creators and go from there. So there you go. I mean, the Groiper sphere completely falls in what I think Nav should be. Not that we agree with everything across the board. Obviously, I don't. If anybody's tuned into our show outside the Overton. But I think there's good conversations to be had there. And obviously, Nick and the Groipers are carrying themselves right now across the board in the news. And that is news, so we're going to keep up with it along with try to create some ourselves. So,
And we thought, Atlas and myself being the ones who like Nick Fuentes the least, we'd like it naturally would be us to give a more nuanced view of the take by having our show about it.
And then immediately after the Groiper Report on Friday, myself and John will be hosting the anti-Groiper Report to combat that. But just kidding.
It'd be the
I'm not
Fed Finder.
anti-Groiper, but
It's an hour after.
yeah, one hour after, immediately after. We're just gonna react to Atlas and Josh immediately after. Stupid, dumb, stupid. Just kidding. We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna try to make enemies here. I know we joke, but it's all in good faith. I think we're all going towards the same direction. Now, maybe not exactly, but I think when we're fighting these wars, we have to understand that we need to have friends that are closer beside us and heading in the same direction. Otherwise, this split that we've had continuously over the last 60 years is going to we'll never win that without being some type of unification. So where does that unification come from? Is it just no enemies to the right? Is there something beyond that? Call it truth, call it common goal. John's over there looking like he's craving a little but
You just
A little gefilte fish.
he's making faces at me. You're making faces. Go ahead and say it, dude.
right now, I'm sitting here motionless, and you're like, you know what my brain thinks of that? Me, Zeb Boykin. I'm thinking about cock. That was all you. Don't give me the assist in the stats. I had nothing to do with that dunk.
Hey, he was on the Navy boat, man. He wasn't in the Navy, but he was on the boat, man. What happens
That's
on
right.
the USS Gerald Ford stays on the USS Gerald Ford.
I thought Zeb was on the Liberty.
He didn't do gay shit. He just
That's why
watched,
he's so salty about it.
he just
I
watched
was on the
through his.
Wasp and we drank jet fuel, so that was fun.
Did you really?
Well,
Yeah, jet fuel leaked into the water supply, and everybody on ship drank jet fuel for
That
3 weeks.
explains a lot.
How was it? And then you couldn't grow facial hair until that day.
Yeah, it's patchy. I'm trying to grow it over.
And
That's
then
why you drink so much energy drinks. You're trying to you
Get it
gotta
out.
itch that scratch that you developed.
You got to push those oil molecules out of your liver. Fuel or whatever the fuck you said. I wasn't really listening because it was you. Sorry.
But yeah, I
Well-
guess the question is, what is the unifying movement forward? How do we define?
Yeah. I'd like to jump in here for a second. My view on this is there's a couple of things we need to establish, and we're already well down this road on 3CC a little bit. But I think number one, nobody should lie. You should have your own positions, and you should stick to them. And then from those positions, we can ask each other, are like, what are deal breakers? You know, is running around with a swastika a deal breaker? Probably at the outset, you know, or something. But there's things that will be and things that won't be. And I don't think we've really had that discussion yet, especially as Christians, of which there are many different kinds in this country. And there's points of contention between them that I find personally kind of ridiculous, which is, you know, so there's different dogmas and things like that in the different branches of Christianity. So I do think we need to talk about what is it that we all agree on and maybe didn't know it? And then what are things like, I'm not willing to change my mind on this particular thing, and then go from there. But that's my thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
I guess my issue with that is I already feel like I'm in a spot where if I look at say we put the grifter class in one group, I already feel like I have no idea who to trust in that group. Whether it was Laura Loomer, whether it's Milo Yiannopoulos, whether it's so who out of, I guess, let me ask you this then, John, I'll turn it back to you. Who out of that group would you be willing to like partner with and say, I trust this person?
No one, none of them.
Yeah. Right. So
but
like that to me is like it's a tough thing to crack.
Well, that's why I'm saying is we're just going to take you. We're going to treat you like an adult here on NAV. We're going to take you at face value. Your positions are your own. Everybody else involved in the discussion is not automatically endorsing them. We all get that. But like, you know, if you lie to us about what you believe, that's kind of on you. And I think we've all been watching this long enough. We'll probably know. But interesting from what you're saying, Laura Loomer is a great example. I think also we should start figuring out and draw some sort of roadmap over who we suspect is on what faction and how many there are and who's at the top of them and things like that. Like for me, I would say, you know, you got Peter Thiel, you got Palantir, you got JD Vance as their candidate. So there's, you know, we start drawing up this little Palantir faction. And then there's, of course, overlap. Sometimes they're enemies, sometimes the factions work together. But no, I don't think we really know what we're even dealing with yet. And I think we should figure that out.
Right.
That could be a good idea for a show, you know, maybe, I don't know who would be on it. Maybe it's a revolving cast, but Grifter Report, you know, it's like Grifter Report review of JD Vance, Grifter Report review of Atlas Thug. No, I'm kidding. But you know, going down the list, it's like, okay, you suggest a person and we'll get our research team. You know, it might take a little while, but getting down to brass tacks on who can we trust and who's most likely a grifter and how useful are they, even if they are.
Well, so I say that with the idea being, what if this takes off quicker than we imagine? And you do, obviously Laura Loomer is a big one. But say somebody like that, what should be our like vetting process of like, should they even be allowed in, or what's the level of like they possibly are compromised, right? Like say we do find out they interned for, you know, the CIA for 2 years or something like that. It's like that's someone we bring in here. Like, what's the level of where we kind of have a level of you know, barrier of access? Well,
I'd be suspicious of someone like that wanting to be involved, especially at an early stage. But I don't see any problem with bringing them on as a guest and having a discussion and even just straight up being like, hey, Laura, I think you're a fucking spook. Because understand, Laura Loomer is an attack dog that works for somebody else.
right.
So she like really, a lot of these grifters are not, there's some people that grift on their own behalf. Trying to think of a good example.
The quartering.
No, I was getting ready to say that.
No, he works for somebody. They brought him into Rumble and had his little initiation cigar with Crowder. Do you ever see that? He got tapped into something.
See, well, when we build our platform, let me put myself on screen. When we build our platform, we're not fluffing the numbers like Rumble does. The numbers on Rumble are absolutely lies across the board. If anybody believes those Rumble numbers, you're delusional.
And I think that's a good point to make is like, I wouldn't know we've said it already, but this is a movement-based organization, not a profit-based organization. You know, we are in this because even though there might be disagreement on certain topics, certain issues, at the end of the day, we are in this for the new American vision, trying to see this vision actualized, and tired of seeing people come in, say the right thing. We go, heck yeah, I like this guy. Vote for him. He gets in office. Business as usual. That's what we're tired of.
Yeah.
Well said.
Marcus
Not
Emoto
referencing
said,
anyone in
whose side are they
particular.
on? If you name the show, whose side are they on?
Right. That's a good one.
Oh, let's do it, dude. Let's just do it.
We were talking about that where you were going. Grifter report.
Grifter report.
Somebody writing this down. Somebody writing this down.
Grifter report.
Well,
Let's do it, dude.
Yeah, his so what was it again, Atlas? I have the memory of a goldfish.
What was it? The Groper report. Whose side are they on?
Whose side are
And
you
the
on?
Fed Finder. Yeah.
Fed Finder. I like that.
Let's go, dude. See, this is what we need. John's chat is goated, except for the ones that don't like me. And then our chat is goated. So, if we can get an Atlas chat, obviously has a fantastic chat also. If we can get all of these together and then start bridging, that's how we need to vet people from now on. We need to take a look at their chat, and if their chat is great, then they come on. If not, then they can stay over there. I'm just kidding, obviously. But yeah, chat, you're great. Sometimes.
I'm sorry, I'm
I
reading
missed
it.
a couple of minutes. I apologize. There was a massive hornet in the house I had to go kill. Where are we at?
Who is
What
Zeb?
is the vision?
Did Zeb
Or what
answer the
is the
question?
vision? What'd you say?
Who's Zeb? Did you answer the question?
Someone asked, who is Zeb? Or what is a Zeb?
What is a Zeb?
Zeb is
No,
that
it's good
very
You didn't do your
esteemed
intro, did you?
the gay
Did
man
I
in the
intro?
center.
I don't think I did intro.
Oh no, you didn't.
Everybody knows.
What's
who I am.
your origin story?
I am Zeb Boykin, host of the Outside the Overton, obviously with Josh Vandernoord. A lot of you are here from there. I got in this space because I don't even know. I realized at some point that there is no future for at least my kids, and probably no future for me in the way of doing trade work. And I talk about this all the time. It's a lot more succinct on the show, is that they stole my future from me. I would rather be building houses. I would rather be doing something with my hands. But now I have to look at a camera and tell you that they are thieves. I would rather not be doing that. And so here we are. And along those lines, it's not just looking at a camera. We go out. I've gone out within the last 2 weeks, I've gone out to a couple of places, talked to actual politicians, trying to make some change. We're building something on the back end here. I'm trying to collectivize a people. We are on the right. We are a people that are individualistic. And I think John's mentioned that before. We are individuals, and it's against our nature to come together and put our heart and soul into something that we don't get a ROI from. I'm not saying that people don't do that. I'm not saying that we're selfish. I'm just saying that's in our nature, is to see things analytically to the point where we want to get a return from what we invest in. I don't think that's Jewish by any metric. I think that is white. That is why we build things, because we see a long-term goal and we try to get there, and we try to build things. But where the left wins is they don't care. They don't care what they build. What they do is they care about who they win over, who they can groom, who they can beat to death with their ideology. And so I want to try and build something that is a little bit cohesive, but also decentralized, to the point where we can create an army of creators, essentially. An army of creators to the point where they can't cancel all of us, where they can't deplatform all of us, because this thing will continue regardless, as a unit, not necessarily as different individuals relatively within the same space. And so I want to grow this thing. I mean, we have 4 here right now. I think we have 16 in the group chat, along with a couple on the back end. And dude, I don't care what that number is. I don't care if it's 1,000 at some point. But the problem is they stole everything from me, from us, from you. And so That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get it back. Obviously, voting harder isn't working, but that is a part of the game. We do have to vote, given that the current state of the country is a quote unquote democracy. So that's how I ended up here. I got in touch with John. I think he gave us a little origin story, but I got in touch with John. I don't know. He was flipping through, making his comeback on Twitter. Twitter had just opened up some vertical space video. Space is kind of how we started this thing off today. So that's how I got in touch with John, and it just snowballed from there. Obviously, I went over to Pennsylvania. There was Sean Semenko up there with Uncensored America. I think he's given the green light to come on board too. So we're going to be working with him also. We have some pretty decent sized names coming on board, and this is obviously going to snowball from here as long as we stay on top of it. This kind of thing takes work. It takes back end work for people that don't want their face on camera, and we very much appreciate that. There's obviously an ego trip that is associated with that if somebody is running it. Not saying that that's me, because I'm the least egotistical person in this call right now. But
Hilarious.
obviously that's tongue in cheek. I mean, I think all of us recognize that there is some ego attached to all of us. You have to have that to do this kind of work.
Yeah, by definition,
otherwise you get beat in the ground.
Anybody by definition doing this is going to be an asshole. I certainly am. Josh is.
No
You gotta be
problem there.
confident.
Completely agree.
You
Second.
had mentioned something there, Zeb, I think is important to point out, and maybe someone can mark the time and clip this. But part of this also that I think is a lot of utility is what we were calling censorship insurance.
Yes.
The idea that you have all these channels that, 10,000, 20,000, 50,000, it's if anything were to ever happen to you, we're building something to, number one, store data and store your work if you need it, if you want it backed up in that way to be able to reboot. But also the second anything happens to you, censorship or cancel wise, you will have 10, 20 other creators with sizable followings that can let people know that it happened and then what you're doing about it and where to go find you again. And I think that has tremendous value.
Exactly. And just like we're seeing with Nick Fuentes, right? It's clear that their position, their stance is, well, you're not allowed to own your own show and have your own show, but you can be a guest elsewhere. So as long as we have the network and you are automatically bopped and taken off the face of the planet, you'll at least have, more people's shows you can go and partner on to. And it'll be news cycle relevant too.
It'd be nice too to, like, every nav show you're on, you're exposed to 20 to 100,000 other people that have probably never heard of you, and that certainly can't hurt, unless you're a fucking idiot. then it might.
Completely agree. I also I'm excited to host some debates on our channel. I know me and Zeb were kind of getting into it over evolution. Is evolution compatible with Christianity? Is evolution true in the first place? So I think that's we haven't set it in stone yet, but I think that's a debate Zeb and I are going to be having on the channel sometime soon, hopefully. So that's going to be fun.
I just want to debate the orbs. Obviously, the orbs are real.
I want to believe.
The fucking plane orbs, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Fucking goddamn retard.
The orbs.
What, you don't buy
real.
it, John?
Aliens aren't fucking real.
True.
I agree.
Sounds like something an alien would say.
I'm sold. I'm sold.
I made the orbs in my garage to
Can you cut
steal
out
a
that
plane
frame?
because I like airplanes.
Cut out that frame there where I turned into a reptile for a second, can you?
Yeah, dude, that's what we need. That's what we're gonna do. We're trying to weaponize the autism, the plain autism, not train autism. There's levels of this game. Josh is obviously plain autism, and I think I'm not saying I am, but
You're
but
train
I'm-
autism for
I'm
sure.
I'm in the ballpark somewhere over there. I haven't figured it out yet.
It's the next stage in human evolution, baby.
the trains and planes autist? Heck yeah. Social skills, who needs them?
But as I guess we're going to try and make a little bit of a transition here. We'll take any questions from chat that y'all may have. I know we kind of tossed that up in the spaces, didn't get much feedback. I mean, throw anything out there, and we'll try and tackle that. I know I've seen a couple, but repost it if you don't mind so that I can see it, and I'll pull it up on screen. We'll go from there. I mean, all that being said, John is kind of, there's nobody really heading this up. Like I said, Frank's on the back end doing some heavy lifting. We have Tristan also doing some work back there. John's helping out Tix and Atlas, everybody that you see on screen right now, and obviously Josh. We're all working together to try and create this thing. What is I have a list up here of topics that we were trying to knock down. We already talked about what is NAV, and we talked about what is vision, prepping for the new America. What is the mission? Maybe we can talk about this question of I titled the thing "Prepping for Revolution" and then a new founding. When you hear those words, what does that kind of bring to mind? Is that civil war? Is that from the inside out? Is that we're gonna retake it? We're gonna coup America.
Well, here Mission Control says, "What's the links between you all that you agree on?" And I think we have talked about that a little bit. I think we agree there's a problem. We might not agree on what it is, but that's sort of the inciting incident of what formed all of this, is it not? We're a group of people that agree there is some kind of problem, a pretty major one, and that's a start, is it not?
Mm-hmm.
Do we not agree on that? Everything's great.
No,
I think
absolutely.
I think we can
All right,
agree on that. I don't have no issue agreeing on that. The
Number
question is,
two,
what is the problem, John?
Well, so I'm answering Mission Control here. Come on, hold on a second. So number 2 thing, Mission Control, I think that links us, is we're interested in answering the question of what is an American, which was, I cut you off, but you were kind of already starting to get there. So that's a link between us. And then I would say a third and maybe final link is we believe we can win.
Yeah.
Which is not a small thing. There's a lot of black pilling. Well, how about this? We believe it's worth fighting. Is
there
that closer?
Go. Love it.
Okay.
Well,
fair enough.
I mean,
I think we can win.
What's the point if we don't believe we can win? Why not just go huddle up,
yeah.
go Ruby Ridge this thing so they can find us?
Well, that's
in
not
Minecraft. In Minecraft.
Whoa.
I think it's
in Roblox.
I think it's well established that there's no escaping. You can't libertarian your way into the woods and get away from it.
Right.
They will find you. And so the only other option is to fight. The only other option is to try and win. I think it is winnable. It's obviously not going to happen tomorrow, but I definitely think, we probably all have different timelines here, but I have about 15 years to make it happen. And I am going to do that, period. End of story. It's going to happen regardless of how it happens. It's going to happen. And we'll figure it out as we go down the road. I mean, that's kind of what I do. I enjoy is problem solving as it comes, one day at a time, dude. And that's what we're doing.
And I don't know about you guys, but I think like this was kind of my experiences. Like, I was a young man. I turned 18 in 2016. And my view of politics was you get your Obamas, then you get your Mitt Romneys. And really it's two sides of the same coin where it's just, they get this policy, but none of the others. And then we get this policy, but none of the others. And no one really wins everything at the end of the day. And it's just this tit for tat. But ultimately, at the end of the day, America goes up. Then Trump comes on the scene and he shakes up the whole dynamic. He realizes or at least in my case, he made me realize everything is bad, but it can be better. And after 8 to 10 years of Trump, I think we're all starting to realize that, no, in fact, it is bad. It's always been bad. It's started to be bad before any of us were born, and it's only going downhill. Something has to be done.
I think you'd probably even zoom out a little bit from that too, right? What connects all four of us is we believe in God. And I think that in of itself tells a few different things, which is one, we believe in something greater than ourselves. But two, because of that belief, all four of us are willing to plant seeds in which we know will never sit beneath, or there's a great chance we probably won't. And I think that's really what it takes to exists in this space is knowing the level of cost that will come, societally to you for poking the bear, if you will. And I think that's one of the biggest kind of gripes I have with a lot of guys who are older than me, which is like, basically, what were you doing, right? What was going on in your minds while this country was continually getting annihilated through immigration and every other policy that kind of tore it from its roots? And so that's kind of where I keep my kind of fire, is when I see the older guys continually watching TV and sports ball and not paying attention. I go, man,
They're
more of the
still
same.
stuck. Yeah, and I think that's why we can bring that in here, is to maybe appeal. Maybe they catch a show. Maybe it gets stuck in their feed from the sports aspect, and they get a little call. Maybe they wake up a little bit. Maybe we can wake a few people up on the sports side. So I mean, that's I'm not trying to say I'm trying to usurp the algorithm, but we are definitely trying to do that. We're trying to win, and that's what we're going to do. There's a question in chat. I think John's already read it. It says, I unsubscribe from content makers, pastors who use AI. Can you comment to not using AI? Oh, commit to not using AI.
No.
I think John said it in chat also, and Josh kind of said it outright just then. I think Atlas would agree. We are not going to use AI, but what we will do is not use AI to produce things that matter, that require depth of thought. AI is dumb. Grok is dumb. ChatGPT is dumb. They're all dumb. Now, are they useful? Yes, they are useful. Listen, if we can make some memes through AI, guess what, dude? We're going to clown on people. But I'm not going to use the AI to create the new Constitution. Right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to use it to make Michelle Obama have a fat. That's what I'm using AI for, right?
Slim-
the photos.
You could just take a regular photo.
There are many valid use cases just like that. It's a tool. Everything's a tool. You can't be afraid of a tool.
Yes.
Right. Exactly. It can be good or bad.
I don't even really use it for memes. Not that I've made a lot of memes lately, but there's definitely funny ways to use it. And then there's ways to use it where the very fact that you're using AI to comment on whatever you comment is part of the joke. Right? So
if you can make a gorilla speak English in Walmart and argue with security, have at it. But until then, I'm going to use AI.
But I think maybe more what they were getting at is, are we gonna use it in a manipulative or subversive way, or post some speech of some boomer, like at his truck talking about America? Yeah, no, we're not. I don't think we're gonna do that.
No. And I think probably what they're getting at is, I've seen a lot of these too, where these pastors make these super sloppy AI, like, God and angels, and it's this constant kind of just like, you can tell it's AI made. It's a lot of slop.
Yeah. We'll try to avoid cringe.
Yep, we nailed that question. Good job, guys. That a way to agree on something. First question we all agreed on. I think we're off to a pretty solid start. I mean that one just seems baseline to me. The AIs are obviously demon driven. Not that there are demons in there, but the people controlling them are demons. Sam Altman covering up for a murder. Where's my send your lawsuits this way? I'll take that one in discovery.
Peter Thiel murdered his Puerto Rican boyfriend.
If I have a chance to save Mecha Hitler, I will save Mecha Hitler.
We're bringing Mecha Hitler back,
dude. So be it.
You weren't supposed to reveal our true mission.
Yeah, right. Restoring
the first show, man. This is actually all about resurrecting Mecha Hitler. There was another, not to change the subject if we're still talking about it, but there was a good question from Ms. Beth. Where'd it go? Absolutely. Oh, here, Gen X here. How can I help my generation and the boomers wake up and start listening to channels like this? I think that's interesting because we're in this transitional media space where there's a certain age group that watches, what do we call it? Legacy media. I don't know. I'll open that up to the floor. Part of me thinks it's a waste of time, but part of me does think with like a directed ad campaign, with part of the mission that might behoove us is to make these people aware that we exist and that it's easy to watch. I have this theory, no offense, chat, not you guys, but that the audience is retarded. What I mean by that is I developed that from my own way of looking at shit on the internet. I'll scroll YouTube videos. I rarely subscribe. I rarely watch the whole thing. There's this gross sales team part of growing that we just, I think, have to accept that we need to do. And I don't know any other. How do we get Gen X and Boomers to be aware and watch shows like this? Show them, share it, sit down with them and watch it. That's the best I got right now. I'm open to other ideas, but
I
and
would
is it
say
even worth our time? Is it worth our time? I think is a fair question.
I would mirror and say no. I think if you've got a family member that's that's open-minded enough, yeah, show it to them. But like trying to minister to the boomers en masse is a complete waste of time. And I can tell you this from personal experience. I work in radio. Their clientele is boomers. My bosses are boomers. And it's like their brain resets when they go to sleep. I will have full-blown conversations, bring the facts, bring the evidence, and they will concede. They will go, oh, that's interesting. Then when it comes up again, it's like that never happened. The young people are where it's at. Worry about converting Gen Z and Gen Alpha. That's what we got to worry about.
Was there a parable for this? I don't know if this is actually Jesus or not, but you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink it or walk on it.
No.
Yeah.
Jesus was maybe it was
I
Jesus
actually
was
agree
the
with Josh here. I personally, I tried. You guys know how well I can talk and convince people online. Didn't work at all in real life. Actually, I would say it actually made some of the familial bonds between myself and my wife's family actually harder.
Yep.
So, and I think even Nick gives this advice sometimes. You got to know your audience, right? Like if you have a feeling maybe they'd possibly be open to that, then push it. If not, you're probably going to just save yourself a headache by just choosing not to show it in the first place.
Mm-hmm. And also, the television adds credibility. Having a conversation with someone in person makes you human, and people don't care about that. Being on TV, being on their phone, wearing nice clothes, it adds this venue of like, okay, this guy knows what he's talking about. Otherwise, he wouldn't be on the TV. So that's another reason why being here is better.
That was a subtle dig, wasn't it, Josh of the North?
Yeah. What are y'all doing here? You got the ball cat. No, I'm kidding.
But I mean, yeah.
I do have a good question here, though.
I was looking at some studies yesterday and the day before where they were talking about people were switching off of Netflix. They're quote unquote unplugging. That's what they're doing. And I don't know. I'm sure y'all have probably seen it also in your analytics where when I was looking at mine, the percentage of people that watched the show on the TV is like 30-something%. And I was like that doesn't make sense to me because I just don't watch things on TV. But people do. People watch YouTube on TV now, and that's the direction it's going. YouTube has their own ads, and then you pay $15 a month, and you don't have any ads. So I think this is the way it's going. I mean, you can look at people like Mr. Beast, obviously, kind of driving that along with YouTube creating their own series and concepts. So I think this type of thing is the future. Obviously, we can clean it up from here, but that is what it is. And just to kind of caveat from Circle Jerk here, politics are dead to me now. I'm for Jesus, hazing, and getting to my land. Yeah, I mean, we are going to drive the politics here because I think that's where we win in this kingdom. But Jesus is the ultimate goal, right? This is what we need to drive. And I just wanted to kind of mention that to make that baseline. I know Atlas said we need to be able to say Christ is King, and we also need to be able to say that Jesus is our Savior. Right? This is a hurdle for people to get over.
Mm-hmm.
Atlas had said he had a good question, and then you just went on that rant. So I want to hear what his question was.
You're good. You're good. I got it still. It seems like it's almost like a half statement even, but it's commit. I'll read it as a question. Will you commit that donors don't control the content, that they support the content instead?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I was going to pull that one up.
I will definitely commit to that.
Same.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's the entire purpose. I think we've already had this kind of discussion on the back end. Is that, and me and John have definitely had this discussion. Is that we aren't going to sell out, and I've been offered a little bit of a sponsorship in that direction already to do something in the form of gambling.
Kiss the wall.
And it's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. I was basically asked the question of how much would it take, and the answer is none. There's no amount of money that we would accept for that to happen. So to the point, yes, I mean I'm perfectly fine with accepting money from people that disagree with us, but the baseline is that our positions are our positions regardless of what you are going to attempt to push. And if you want to pull the funding, you can pull the funding. We are going to build something independent of all of that eventually anyway. So why compromise?
It's
when we
FUBU.
don't need to.
For
I
us,
mean,
by
yeah.
us.
I mean, if you try doing that stuff that like the Charlie Kirk stuff does, say there is any potential donor out there, like you probably will get anti-Semitism coming back in your direction. Like this is kind of like we're not a controlled element. And the whole idea here is to beat that element. It's to beat this like artificial nature and like money controlling all these elements until, I can't buy getting Christianity back into being into America's forefront. I can't buy black people behaving, right? Until those become itemable things that I can buy, money means nothing to me, right? It's like the things that matter to me are the things you cannot buy with money.
Agreed.
Yeah, I agree. And that's something that, because there's certain aspects, like we talked about earlier, how we are all in this because we take it seriously. We want real change. It's not just about paying lip service to Christ. It's about actually like bringing people to him and putting Christ back at the center of our nation's heart. And that's why, like, you see this a lot, especially now, is there is such a thing, as what people call black fatigue. There is this resurgence in Catholicism happening with America's youth. But what concerns me is in the same way you're seeing, we talked about this on Outside the Overton, there's this huge drop in people that identify as transgender. And we talked about this, people have been saying this back in 2015. It's a fad. This is not, there hasn't been this amount of people hiding transgenderism and now they're okay with it. They're doing it because it's in vogue, so to speak. And that's what concerns me is, like, I'm not bashing the Catholics here. I have a lot of affinity with Catholics. I myself am not one. But I think a lot of people are flocking to it because they're yearning for something traditional rather than yearning for Christ himself. And this is a movement for people that take it seriously. It's not, let's come on here and bash black people because we're tired of the two-faced justice system. This is like, we can discuss these topics. They're touchy topics, but we discuss them with goals in mind, not simply ranting for the sake of ranting and pounding our chests and patting each other on the back for agreeing with each other.
Yeah, I never
Good
crash
faith.
out. Somebody
Crash
asked
out
me if I was on
corner.
estrogen because
Flawless
I've been
victory.
emotional lately. Here's the deal. I'm always emotional. That's my secret.
I'll throw a little curveball in there for you, Josh, just that in my head goes even beyond what you said, and to me is a more complete picture. But I'm reminded of that fucking, I always quote pop culture movies and stuff, so sorry about that. I'm aware that it's not real. But that scene in the first season of True Detective when they're at the revival tent, and I find myself in alignment with what McConaughey's character says is, I do very much believe in God. I would think maybe even more than you guys actually do, but we'll talk about that someday. But
Debate.
I don't need Christianity to not be a shitty person. And when I do shitty things, I'm not like, oh, that was the right thing to do. Like I have a thing in me that's just like, that was stupid. You shouldn't have done that. So morality and society building and things that maybe you guys would call white culture. I am curious, and at some point, maybe not on this initial show, would want to discuss where, like, there's so many people in this country that either have left the church or never were in it, and yet still have that morality. I find those people interesting. I would like to align with them. Thoughts?
I would say I kind of get the thing. I would argue my belief on it is I would actually agree with the base sentence, which is you don't need Christianity to become to become a good person, because nobody is a good person. I would argue, though, that the law of God, that we all have consciences. The law of God is written on the hearts of all men. So everyone naturally does have some sort of intuitive baseline sense on right and wrong. But I do think Christianity is essential to become the best person that John Ward could be.
I
Or
think
Josh
to
Van
throw
or
John a
Aaron.
Well, obviously,
Zeb,
there's
perfect.
there's a lot of weight that comes with the term Christianity nowadays, and we have to define that moving forward.
I worry about being too exclusive or unwelcoming to what I think is a very large number of people living probably quasi-degenerate lives, but they fucking know it.
Yes.
And those people, step one is not to say Christ is king. That doesn't, I'm interested in what works, Josh. And so I don't know, is that if you really want to bring somebody into the fold, I think we should explore strategies that actually work. I'm not saying I know what they are.
So
But,
John, let me ask real quick, because you and I personally
would
have
agree
not
with
had a bunch of like one-on-one, like our interactions are fairly recently. Are you a Christian?
I was raised Catholic. I was baptized. I was confirmed at, 12, 13 years old, something like that. I have a kind of unique experience. Our Catholic diocese here had one of those fun old child molestation scandals.
It happens.
So I didn't walk away from the church so much as I definitely stopped going to my church. And then life happens, and then you go to school and you go run around. And last time I've been in a church was in San Antonio, Texas, one of those mega churches, not unlike the Charlie Kirk thing. I walked in there. The girl I was with started crying because it was fucking crazy. I'm not a real big, like, put my snakes around my neck and see if they don't bite me kind of guy, you know? And so there's a difference between, to me, spirituality, or somebody said in the comments, the Holy Spirit. I think that's spread throughout a certain kind of people, and not all of them are Christian, but they're fantastic people. And so there's a different kind of religion that is like a Joel Osteen money-making operation that's predatory and stupid, I think. Maybe you guys like Joel Osteen.
Absolutely. Like I'm not going to come out here and defend everyone who calls himself a Christian. There's absolutely, like, if anything, you could argue that grifting sort of began in churches before, even it got down to politics, depending on who you ask. But I'm excited to kind of, I don't know how much time we have, and I know that's not really the main topic of today, but I'm excited to flesh that out with you.
I want to answer you honestly. The thing keeping me from just calling myself, and to me it's more Catholic. The whole Christian and Catholic being different is kind of like newish to me. I realize you guys care a lot more about that than I ever did. And so I want to avoid that exclusivity pitfall before we have a chance to talk about it. But I do not ever see myself following in a religion that's centered in the Vatican, which is this gold-plated, opulent shit show. Disgusts the hell out of me. If Jesus came back, he'd walk into Vatican City and just start bashing people and flipping tables. I know it. I know he would. So I would consider myself a follower of Jesus to the best of my understanding of what he did. Big fan of the parable thing. There's obviously these things that he said that I find to be eternal truths and flat out philosophical works of genius. So I mean, I guess that's my answer. It's not. I want to make the church that I go to is what I've realized.
Let me jump in real quick. I mean, this is definitely a heavy conversation, and this is, I think, what NAV should facilitate. Valk Reinhardt said in the chat, this could turn into a huge mess of a debate. It definitely could, and I
didn't mean to. I don't want to have the discussion now, but I'm just trying to answer you, not be deceptive.
Yeah, but I think that's what this is kind of for. I know. Go ahead, Atlas.
So I just want to say a couple of things. One, I do think that we probably should have the conversation sooner than later, because I think it's going to be very imperative to a lot of what we have as like our forefront, like our prerogatives. One thing I guess I want to throw a bone, going back to your original point, would be yes. I agree with you in your, I think the point you were trying to get at. And this is a common point that like Corey Muller actually brings up. I don't know if many people actually hear what he's saying when he speaks it, but God wrote two books, right? It's this kind of idea that there is the Bible, but there's also natural law. And that, you know, some people can just experiencing life in the way that life is can come to the understandings of what things are and what the truth is. There's obviously arguments and debates behind that. Um, but the point with the Catholic Church, you know, I think a lot of people would agree with you, even inside that would call themselves Christian. But I think the main point for me would be one, I try not to let the failings of man cloud my judgment of what the better men came before them did.
You're right, and I wrestle with that. You're right. You're 100% right. Sorry, go on.
No, you're good. And the second thing I would add is there's actually somebody who would be perfect to talk to, who I've talked to quite a bit. His name's Mr. Donnybrook, and he is the same exact situation as you. Was raised Catholic, he was confirmed, he fell away from it, he hated it for all the same reasons. He felt like it was very obvious, and then obviously adding in all the allegations with sexual stuff too. But then he found God in Indiana at a truck stop. So he might be a really good person for you to talk to. I can try to connect you guys together.
Yeah, we could. I mean,
Well, I'd
Donnie's
made
already on the
offhanded.
list. We could definitely make that happen.
Well, again, this is not the episode for it, but I kind of made an offhand comment that I might believe in God more than you guys do, and we'll talk about it at some point. So yeah, it's something you experience. It's a little
I'm
weird to
excited
talk.
to delve into that with you because, you know, Zeb and I on Outside the Overton, we discuss politics mostly, but philosophy, the history of the church, that's something I personally, I like a little bit more. So I'm excited.
I mean, Jesus was a philosopher and a quite efficacious one and brilliant one, and perhaps invented a lot of the ways of thinking that we now use. You have to, the impact that guy had on the world tells me he was not just standing in fucking the Middle East somewhere saying crazy shit. He was saying shit that was already inside other people. They just hadn't been able to see yet in themselves. And so I believe we are tools of whatever is jerking the strings of or puppeteering all of this. And you're born with these arbitrary things you're good at and not good at, and ways you think and whatever. And I think whatever that is out there above us in some higher dimension will reach into people if they have a certain set of tools for something that it wants to do. And so, and that's what I mean, sainthood in the Catholic Church, most of these people that become, not to argue about if that's blasphemous or not, but we're almost universally people that were shitty that came to see. There's never a saint that was just always perfect. And that's actually kind of true of Jesus also. You have in every other major religion there, you know, even Buddhism, they're this pure, beautiful, perfect prince. And Christianity is unique, kind of as Josh was saying, is actually we're all pieces of shit. But there is this honorable or spiritual mission that you learn about yourselves and the world and help people and create something bigger by navigating that truth. So I don't know. If you want to talk about, do I believe in God? Is again, yeah, absolutely. And I would think maybe more than any of you, unless you've had a similar experience, but I didn't want to get into all that right now. But the best spiritual advice ever is how we kicked off the show is have fun. That is the voice I hear sometimes, or at least the feeling I get is, I didn't put you here to suffer. You are a piece of shit, but this wasn't ever meant to be a prison or a punishment. And all those things come from people, not God. And then I wonder if we're not at a time where he's like, all right, let's do a little maintenance. And it's gotten a little too crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
I love that.
Yeah. Discussion for another time, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, that's a 6-hour stream, to be honest with you, and especially if we have 4 people here. And I
Right.
think John doesn't have that ability to have that discussion on his channel as much as I think he would like to, or I would like him to. And again, this is what this is kind of for, is to facilitate those kind of discussions. So hopefully we can get that moving down the road. Frank the Tank asked a question. He said, "How can others get involved?" And he asked that in the chat, and I want to shout out Michigan Groiper here real quick. He said, I will start a clip channel, responding to Frank the Tank. So that's, I mean, primarily, like, if you don't already have your own content creation, if you're not already making videos or doing some type of, I don't know, writing articles or anything to that effect of creation, then clip channels go so far. They do so much heavy lifting in this space. So if anybody does want to get involved, that's an easy way to do it. I mean, it's as simple as screen recording some of these discussions and just post them. If you tag us, if you tag any of us, if you tag the Nav channel, it's at Nav_creators. If you tag any of us, we will reshare it. So
Well, also reach out to me as well too. Anybody who's wanting to understand some of the technology that goes into clipping, what you would need. I have a couple of tools that I use for random stuff that I do with just YouTube in general. And if you want to know, they're all free to download. So if you want to use your time clipping somebody and posting on a channel, reach out to me, DM me, whatever. I'll help you out with that.
Lord of the Ring question. He says,
me, but I probably won't answer.
Do it. Oh, if you reach out to John, he won't answer.
I was just derailing.
Just go through the Nav channel. That's probably the easiest way to do it. And I think Frank is posted the email, and it's all, the email's also at the bottom of the description in this video too. To get in touch with anybody, it kind of, everybody is involved. Everybody has access to most of that stuff. So somebody will get back to you. Like I said, all of this is going to be decentralized, even to that point. Will there be a Nav Rumble channel? Probably, maybe so. I think the intent is to be able to create our own platform. So by the time we need to create a Rumble channel, we should already have our own Rumble channel, if you will, our own Rumble platform. I think that's the midterm goal. I think that's the midterm goal, and I think it's going to happen faster than people expect it to. So look out for that. Where's one more question? What are the future goals? What is Nav's vision for future of America after we win? Trying to kind of jumping the gun there. Somebody want to take it, Atlas? What's the vision for the future of America?
Well, I mean, here's the thing. What is the victory condition? It's something itself entirely. Part of the reason why, and you would even mention this, like with the thumbnail, right? Like prepping for revolution. What does that mean? Is it civil war? What is it? What form is this going to take? And quite honestly, even before I got even deeper into the political side of things, right? Before I realized why people were all go to Israel and kiss the wall, it was very clear to me that the trajectory we were on with the male and female dichotomy, that it was going to result in something very, very dangerous. And when you look at some of these kind of metrics and the way they kind of compare up, I mean, we're getting close to levels of like what certain demographics look like in the Middle East. And we know exactly what those demographics lead to, right? So when you have large, swaths of the population, male, specifically young male, who are basically kind of, for whatever reason, financial or socially gate kept and have a barrier of access to sexual procreation, they do crazy things. And now you add in all these other elements to it as well, clearly like the racial fatigue, right? Black fatigue. And I think all of these things are culminating themselves where maybe we get both at the same time. Maybe it is civil war and revolution at the same time. But regardless of what you think, no matter what, if we get close to the percentage where 50% of the men are unable to get a date because women are, for whatever reason, whether economically incentivized or are just socially tuning out to any man that's not a 10, we're going to have a society that will rip itself apart. We'll have a society of a bunch of young men who have nothing to live for because they have no families, they have no home, they have nothing to return to, they have nothing to lose. So they only have anything to gain by taking from somebody else. And the longer we get to this kind of, that's the metric we're looking at, I mean, the quicker this whole thing just gets torn apart, and then we're owned by Russia, China, Israel, whoever's going to take over. And that's the one thing I want to prevent. So to me, the victory condition is stopping that or slowing that as fastly as as quickly as we can.
I think the short answer would be sovereignty. I think we recognize that the average the average heritage American in this country is not sovereign over their homes, their property, where they can work, what they can do. The country is being led by foreign interests, and we can get into who that is and who it isn't later, but we're being led by companies that have been taken over by foreigners or foreign companies in of themselves that are taking advantage of the American market, and they are buying politicians. We at the end of the day, we want America and the American people to have sovereignty over our own nation.
John?
I think this is a phenomenally tricky question. I don't believe there is a victory condition, nor do I believe that is something to pursue. Although Josh kind of touches on it with sovereignty. When you gain sovereignty, you have a whole nother eternal battle to fight. You're just allowed to be in charge of yourself. I think that's what we want. We want the freedom to be in charge of ourselves. And I see a strong correlation and mirroring of how this country was founded in that sentiment. So I caution you as a wise old man to believe there is such a thing as a victory condition. Or else you get trapped in, we could become the strong men that make good times, but then it just all fucking goes back downhill after. Part of understanding the problem, as the four of us understand it, required the suffering we went through and will continue to go through. Part of me feels like it would be a bad thing to rob our progeny from that experience. They have to live it to understand. Otherwise, as things get more and more comfortable, the insidious dangers and traps that societies fall into, you forget how to spot that and how to avoid it. And if it's not an immediate danger, you tend to start tolerating it, and then you get back to where we are now. So I don't know what the answer is, but yes, we need to have an immediate victory in a sense of gaining sovereignty is, I think, a good way to say it, Josh. But we also need to think about what happens after that. This is a complete and eternal mission, a spiritual one, I guess, to me. So that's my 2 cents.
Yeah, I mean, I would say basically the same thing. I don't know if there is a winning, but I do know that I don't know if there's a victory, but I do know that there is a winning. I don't know if there's a cliff where we're just going downhill and coasting. I think we're always going to have battles. But that being said, once we start winning, then we can kind of change our position. All of this is extremely tactical when it boils down to it, and we'll have to take it a little as it comes because the battlefield changes as we go. And so it's like used to, you could make a business plan 5 and 10 years out and kind of project from that back in the 80s, 90s, because everything wasn't so rapidly changing. If you're planning anything further than like 3 years out right now, it's just delusional. You'll never reach that because everything changes so fast. Just look at, AI was mentioned earlier. Just look at the change in the technology space just in the last year. No one would have guessed that. Now they're projecting out AGI. I don't think we'll ever get to AGI. See, and that's another thing. They're basing everything on something that they are expecting to be exponential when it may not even reach that point. So we have to take it. I'm not saying one day at a time. I'm not even saying 1 week at a time. But we have to recognize that these time frames matter, and we need to assess it as we go. And the principle, if the principles brought you here, then what good are those principles? I think we need to take that into account and say, okay, maybe we can put this on the back burner. Obviously, we're going to maintain our moral principles, but if the principles is what's brought us to losing, I think we need to put those on the back burner, and then take a peek at those principles every once in a while, and say, maybe can we reinstitute these principles and move on from here and maintain that winning position. So it's an ongoing process, a continuous process, and I don't think victory is ever there, especially in this way. It's a change of battlefield, right? So we're talking about the new revolution, right? The older revolution is or the revolution itself was they left England and Europe to a new land. We don't have a new land to go to. They quite literally changed battlefields, built America from 1607 up until 1776. Then they had the revolution, right? And so that's a change of battlefield that they never actually won on. It was a change of battlefields, a change of enemies, and we need to take that assessment as we do from now on, right? I mean, if we actually do get mass deportations to the extent of 100 million, yeah, that is a win. But the platform is, or the battlefield just slightly changes. The enemy slightly changes, if you will. So then we have to alter our position on that. That's just kind of
Well,
my
I'm glad
point.
you brought up the well, I'm glad you brought up the founding fathers because there's a couple points there, right? History doesn't repeat, it rhymes. And one thing that always does bother me too is you look at the age of the founding fathers and you kind of look at it through the looking glass where you go, everybody here is older than that. These guys were all what, like mid 20s doing all of this. And then you look at it from the sense of, well, what were they willing to even wage the revolution over? And it's like, well, an extra 3% tax amongst a litany of things. And you think about where we are today too, and you kind of go, should this have happened a good bit a while ago, right? How are we too late to the party, right, to be able to get this across? But in that sense of, is there a victory condition? I mean, we have the apocryphal quote that's largely attributed to what is Ben Franklin, I think sometimes Thomas Jefferson, but the idea that you would have to wage a revolution every 20 years. They understood that. They understood there's a level of vigilance required to keep your government by and for the people. And that's, I think, the one thing that we lost. That's why you have so many of the average guys who are based are just libertarians. But it's because they escaped. They expected that they could just be left alone and other people would just run the government and do things over there. But that's just not how it works. It doesn't matter if you don't care about politics. Politics cares about you. So you're in this fight whether you want to be in it or not. It's a matter of, are you going to pick up the weapon and fight with it, or are you going to just be ran over?
Um, I think we beat that one pretty good. Question is, do we get a Nav Discord? And then appreciate that, McThizen. And then Sly Ghost asks, Nav Discord would be a good start. Am I missing something? Can Nav just make an X channel like Red Ice TV? I'm not sure how Red Ice TV is structured, but probably, if I'm assuming you correctly, I think I think I would like, and we can probably deal with this later on. I would like for Nav to be able to facilitate a corporate channel and then affiliate across the board with the creators. If we could. Obviously, it's going to cost money. We can get there eventually, but I would like to facilitate that on X. Obviously, that is a more of a long-term or at least medium-term goal than short-term goal. But to the point of Discord, the answer is just like the Rumble answer. We will have our own Discord. Discord will be much sooner than Rumble. Obviously, video is harder to create or store than Discord or just a chat thing. So I mean, that's this stuff is coming. It is coming, and just hold on tight. It might get a little bumpy. You might be riding what's the thing at Carowinds, Josh? The Thunder Road. Thunder Road is the oldest wooden roller coaster at Carowinds. It is rough. It is a rough ride. But
You'll need
just
a
hold
new
on, boys.
spine when you're done with it.
Just hold on, boys. We will get there. We will. And ladies, I know we have some ladies in the chat, so we appreciate
Go
y'all
away. They're both like, I love it.
But I guess to that point, Atlas has his Discord. You can go find that. Offensively,
Well, women
why
aren't
do I
allowed
keep
there.
wanting to switch it up? Do what?
Women aren't allowed in my Discord, by the
No
way.
women allowed.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, that's like a treehouse, man. It's boys only.
And then we
Yes,
have
boys
our
only.
Discord, which is outside the Overton. John has a Gilded, which is coincidentally
Okay.
shutting down completely.
Yeah, that's going away. That's going away. I had
Any
to
word
nuke
on
my
that,
Discord.
John?
Well, I'm hoping we get this shit up and running. I don't see necessarily the value in having these atomized content creators specific. I mean, I see the reason. It's to make money and develop your following and stuff. But I when I make those things, I think I end up just pissing everybody off because like I don't really respond very often and I'm doing other shit. And I just kind of realized maybe someday if I become some kind of filmmaker, I'll boot something like that back up. But that you guys centralize the audience and leave me out of it. I don't have anything to pitch or plug.
So don't mess with John. Heard.
Yeah. Leave me alone, man. I'm a
All right, we
He
got
just
about-
wants to sit in his recliner and smoke his pipe and watch the tube.
We have
I have
one.
one of those chairs like Idiocracy. It's a toilet. It jacks me off. Fucking, it's great.
God.
Sorry, Jesus.
Yeah.
I'm
Let me-
laughing
I'ma
at some
check
of
out-
the comments.
Let me check out Red Ice TV. I'm just curious. I feel like I've heard that before, but I mean, we got about 30 minutes left. If y'all want to try and start working into a close up, what we have to look forward to maybe this week. Maybe we can work something out there. I would like to maybe even add something before next Sunday. I know we have a production schedule that John has implemented, so we're gonna try and work through that for next Sunday, and also add something maybe this week. You think we can probably get something up and running this week?
I'm down.
Yep.
See, senor.
And then
I
we can
don't know
reach
if
out to
we were fully clear about the fact that the four of us are sort of the ones who got together and launched this. There's already, what did you say, Zeb? Like at least 10 other people that are going to be on. I know
I think
Sean
16
Seman.
in the chat, but everybody has like 2 accounts, so
We'll definitely get Uncensored America on here for an episode. Quite frankly, Frank, I'm sure a lot of you know him. He's going to be on at some point. So there will be. We're just started that process of reaching out to people, but I think it would be very interesting to get a somewhat. I don't want to use the word diverse, but interesting people that will challenge Josh.
I like it.
And his hatred for women. I'm gonna
You a woman hating son of a gun. Are you a son of a gun, Josh? You hate those
I
women?
like women where they belong, which is in the kitchen, clearly.
Josh was yelling at me the other day because I asked my wife for permission.
Oh no! Listen,
Huge mistake.
I can't judge though. I'm not married. I'm not in a relationship, so it's easy for me to cast stones from my glass house expression.
Yeah.
Any other questions, chat? Lord of the Ring asked, John, how is Inward coming along? I think you've mentioned it earlier.
Inward
Not
is,
my name,
yes, I know. I had intended to finish that by the end of August, and then of course shit comes up and whatever. But Inward is this mini series TV, 4 30-minute episodes. I want to make it entirely myself, but I keep chipping away at it and realizing that to have it be genuinely good is going to take a little bit of money. And I want it. There's no reason to throw something out there that looks shitty or is not a good story. Or I mean, the story's pretty good, I think. But so I am continuing to work on getting some funding for that to be able to, rather than have a camera tied to a string and have to create some Rube Goldberg machine to get the shot I want because I'm also the actor. I'd rather just have someone else hold the camera. It makes it a lot easier, that kind of thing. So, and then the other project that has been making some headway that is a feature film called Killer Whale, which is a horror comedy that is the story of Moby Dick, which, if you don't know, has no women in that book. But rather than, because of budget constraints, rather than men on a boat chasing a whale, it's men going into the woods to find a fat white feminist. That's their whale. And Ahab, rather than a peg leg, has a peg dick because she took his dick.
Oh my goodness!
Now he's out
Zeb,
for revenge.
when Zeb and I first started doing Outside the Overton, and he told me about you, he told me that was a project you were working on. And I was very curious. I was like, oh, that sounds like an interesting idea, but I thought I'd wait till we met in person to kind of ask what the plot is.
Now you've changed your mind.
Not what I expected, but that is funny.
I laugh out loud as I'm writing it, so I feel like it's decent.
There you go. I love it.
That's what I mean about content that you can approach this directly with talk shows, or you can speak in parables. And the fat feminist whale in the woods, that's a hell of a parable, man. That story, by the way, is highly biblical, if you didn't know. Go read Moby Dick.
I haven't read Moby Dick in a long time.
It's
I
the
tried it.
perfect
It's dry.
movie
It's
to make.
bad. Don't read it.
What'd you say? It's
I
bad?
said I tried reading it. It's dry. It's bad. It's a hard read, John. Just I'll watch
You ain't
I'll
read
watch your
shit,
movie though.
and you fucking know it. I haven't shown you jack. I tried to cast Zeb, but he just kept wanting to do gay shit. He's like, "Hey, like? Can we add a scene in here where I'm like kissing a dude or something?" And I was like, "Come on, man."
Oh, he's doing that Michael
great,
Knowles stuff.
You know what'd be great in this scene is if I kissed a dude. At the third time after that, I was like, "All right,
Chat
you're
doesn't
not
believe
involved."
you, John. Chat doesn't believe you.
Am I being facetious?
Zeb, we should make a Nathan Bedford Ford movie. What do you think about
Forrest.
that? Oh,
Forrest?
Forrest. Yeah, whatever.
Dude, well, I'm growing my
Whoa.
hair out. I want to grow my hair
He's
out.
a
I want to go
grifter.
full on Confederate. If
He's
you
a
can come up
grifter.
with something, the North versus the South, John, we can definitely do that.
Like a comedy?
Sure.
Is that what you mean? I'll fucking try. I'll see what I can do. That old great comedic gold mine known as the Civil War.
Dude, I think John, you could probably come up with something, dude. I've seen you work.
I'm actually already thinking of some stuff. This actually is a really funny concept.
I tell
What's
you what,
that
one of the funniest
Chappelle
bits I've seen
character,
was the-
Bigsby? Clayton Bigsby,
Yeah, Clayton.
like
White supremacist.
the story of the one black guy who fought to keep them enslaved still.
that one's good. The Key and Peele one where no one will buy them is good. They keep like, why are
That
they
was
buying
funny.
everybody out? They're like, we're fit. That was a good one.
I'm not sure what
We should
Frank's
do
talking
a-
about here, but he chatted something. I don't know what it is. We appreciate it. CCCCCC but yeah, the Civil War on drugs. I mean, we're gonna have fun doing this. Obviously, we're joking around here. Depending on what the show is, depending on the context of what's going on, depending on I don't know the medium that we're using, whether it's debates or this or articles or I don't know. Maybe we can write a book here pretty soon. I don't know. I don't know how to read, but I could probably write something. We're gonna have fun doing it, and we are going to win. So you can stick around. We would appreciate you for sticking around. If you haven't, go follow the Nav channel on X, and obviously you're here on YouTube. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. Go ahead and like the video. We're not going to end yet. Obviously, we're going to have some closing statements from there, and then any more questions we have from chat. Let's see. John Ward's videos are awesome. Yes, they are. When he does
Facts.
produce them.
What? All three of them this year have been great.
But Frank
Carry it.
says
I'll be
affiliates
back in 2 seconds.
links incoming too. So we're going to try and actually be somewhat self-sustaining, so we don't have to require the external funding. That would be my goal. I think that would be everybody's goal. So we're going to do that. You two kind of talk and discuss something real quick. I want to check out Red Ice TV for half a second. Josh, where you at? Let me throw you up here with Atlas. You and Atlas. Chit chat
Hey,
for a
Atlas.
second.
All right, word. All right, it's just us two.
I
It looks
guess
like
you
it's
and I,
just
we
John.
better start workshopping the Groiper Report show.
Yeah, there's a lot of things we could go there. It's how oppositional do we want to be, right? How spicy do the takes need to be? Are we going to start getting clipped like Jaden McNeil?
Oh no. That's the thing, because you do a very good job of doing like not just like because your channel, it's not just a Nick clip channel. You take the clips and you give commentary on them, which is kind of like when Zeb suggested it. I was like, okay, but Atlas kind of already does that. But I think sort of not just like going topic by topic. It's Nick going through this. It's like, here's what happened in the Groiper sphere this week, almost like a database or paper of record, so to speak, about what's going on in the Nick Fuentes world. Obviously, the best time to plant a tree would have been 20 years ago, but he's popping off now. This is a just as good a time as any to kind of get started on something like that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Especially when I think what we could do is like rope in, like you could do it's like a Groiper meter. Something I thought of was like how Groiper
Mm.
are they? And somebody like Ashalogos, right? All these other like dissident right figures that are more than often than not either agreeing with Nick but don't call themselves outright Groipers. You could throw a lot of people in there, right? Devin Stack with Black Build. There's a lot of people that kind of like fit that mold, and that's probably what we could do, right? Is a lot of these disagreements that come from not even just the left, but people who are like just adjacent to the right and kind of exploring, do we think this argument is legit or not? Or is this person just mad that Nick didn't like their response in a group chat? Like
Yeah.
where are they actually coming from here?
Because I'll admit, I do think that some of the things Nick does that are they're not the obvious take. I do think it's like once he explains them, it is clear it like just goes over most people's head. It's not like what they would do, so they don't like it. However, with all of the interview and guest appearances he's getting right now, I kind of want to get your take on this, but I think they're kind of boring, and I think
I agree.
he's at a position now where for the longest time for him to get on with someone like Dave Smith or to get on with Alex Jones, it makes sense and it plays well to not go full blown Nick Fuentes like he does on his show, appealing so he gets nowadays everyone knows who he is. And I do mean everyone. Like my family members who just learned about him are talking about him now at like the
Right.
family dinners and stuff. So he's at a point where I don't think he needs to try and win people over anymore. His takes are out there, the clips are out there. People, the people that hate him still hate him. The people that love him still love him. And the people that are kind of on the fence, they'll figure it out as they go.
All right, that's enough Nick glazing for the day.
Love you, Zeb.
If you say so.
Me and I don't know.
More
Zeb
at 9.
wants to fight Nick Fuentes or debate or whatever.
Well,
I'd
there's no
moderate it.
loss there.
I
I don't
agree and
lose
disagree.
that. Even if I lose the debate, I don't. There's no loss. You don't lose, and so that's why Nick doesn't take it because he loses no matter what, even if he wins the debate. So, yes.
Well, I mean, and just to answer what he wanted to hear my take on, I agree. I do find them to be just as boring as well. And because it's all the same thing, right? It's the same background story of what he was doing in 2018. When did he get his YouTube banned? It's the same 40-minute story.
Right.
Not to say it's not good to hear, but I've heard it a bajillion times now. Part of me does think, though, like with PVD and others, they're trying to draw out that story so they have less time to talk about anything meaningful. Right? They're like, let's talk about
Yes.
Nick's origin story for an hour and 30 minutes. And now for 5 minutes, Israel. Okay, nice to see you, Nick. Where can they find you? It's like maybe it's a tactic.
And cut to a break, Atlas. You forgot about your breaks.
Oh, yeah, right. Right. What was that about GD Vance? Anyways, my supplements are.
Basically. Yeah,
Yeah.
and this is the thing is I don't know. I can't say that they're boring. I haven't listened to them, but they aren't Nick's forte. They don't work in his favor, I don't think. Obviously he's getting more eyeballs, but I don't know. It's not like he's new to this game. He's definitely somewhat of a veteran and he knows what he's doing in some capacity. So let him run with it. We'll see what happens on the back end. I just know when I go on PBD, I want my Manette contract also. Okay. Just give me a Manette account so I can start raking in some $15,000 an hour or something absolutely insane.
$100K for a 15-minute conversation. That's a good starting point.
Yeah, what is
Just
PVD?
kidding,
It's like
chat. Just
48
kidding.
grand.
I'll do it for 3 mud cookies. 1 hour, 3 mud cookies. Let's go.
They got to be from Haiti. I don't want an American mud cookie. I want an Asian.
I want
mud cookie.
imports. This better be imported.
I think that's just something we should do. If you buy them in bulk, if you buy 100 mud cookies, 99 of them are normal, but there's one authentic Haitian mud cookie in there.
Let's go, dude.
Fucking mine. A minefield. That's how we can raise money. Let's just sell dirt.
It's true.
Dude, Chad, if you don't know
Wait,
where the
what
mud
was
cookies are,
that?
you stick
What was-
around. We'll learn really
You'll
quick.
learn.
We'll start doing whenever I get this thing in production. We'll pass out some samples, mud cookie samples.
Was that you guys we were joking about with? That you sell bags of mud cookie flour and it's just fucking dirt.
Yeah, that was me and you. I think
That's a great idea. I think we should do that.
mud cookie flour and it's just bags of dirt.
Haitian
I think
flour.
it's like selling bottled water.
We were saying it's gluten free. That's right.
Gluten-free Haitian flour.
Gluten-free Haitian flour.
We'll throw a little bit of grass in there for nutrition.
Mm.
Made in America.
I don't know if they have grass there, Josh.
Fair enough. Transformer oil.
Literally, unironically, I'm not sure if Haiti has a single blade of grass left.
Dude.
You ever look at a satellite image of that fucking place? I'm not even kidding.
Yeah, it's pretty dry.
Is it that bad?
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
I
I did check out Red Ice TV. Yeah, it'll probably be something like that, but I feel like they're very narrow on specifically just video on platforms. I don't know a ton about Red Ice TV. I'll probably look into it and kind of get an idea. I mean, that maybe there's something that we can pick up off of their platform or what they're using. So probably, I mean, it'll probably be something in the way of Sam Hyde's MDE TV. So, everybody has a general idea of where they're going. Everybody does it slightly different, and we are going to try also. We're just a little late to the game, but we're fast. We're moving quick. We're moving fast, and it's going to happen extremely fast. Accelerate everything, John.
I think it took experiencing. And I don't think we're late at all. I think we're the first ones doing this, frankly.
In this way, I think so, but yeah.
And then I'll find out Zeb worked for the CIA for 3 years. I'm like, oh nope, they're doing more of the same.
Well,
Can't beat the marine allegations.
if you just hold on and we're going in the right direction, as long as I don't grift, as long as I don't hook you, I don't hook and grab and pull you back, as long as I don't Tucker Carlson you, as long as I don't pull a little Dave Smith on you.
When we all get carted down to the police station, I'm going to see Zeb in the interrogation room with a big bowl of boiled peanuts.
Let's go, dude.
We know they got him.
Yeah.
Just stares into your eyes and then crunches his mud cookie real sinisterly.
He comes in. We got
he
some
gives me
funding.
one of
I'm like,
these.
yeah, from who?
For anybody wondering, on the mud cookies, we do have a website up and running right now. Getmudcookies.com. That's
that
on
real?
the screen. We do have a website up and running.
I need to read chat or the group chat.
You can send that in.
Is baking.
Huh? Let me pull it. I'll
went-
pull it up on stream.
I
Hold
just
on.
went to the site.
I saw this. I didn't think it was real though.
Something
What do you mean you
delicious
didn't
is
think it was
baked.
real? What do you think I'm doing over here?
That's great.
I'm weaponizing personnel. We are going to win, chat. When I say we're going to win, I mean it, and I don't have time to wait to not win. And we have some good guys on our team working through some of this.
Who's making the mud cookies?
I'll find a manufacturer for the mud cookies. I promise you.
Mexican immigrants.
I was
How
just
about
gonna
that?
say maybe they.
Maybe we start our
Should they all
own mud
go?
farm. Let's go, dude. Mud farm.
We should literally go look together at some 300-acre piece of property and wear suits and shit and be all serious, and then we get out there and fucking like pick up little grains of sand and be like, I don't know if this is what we're looking for. That's no one else laughed. That sounds fucking hilarious to me.
Like
That was funny.
My keyboard.
Zeb's
isn't working.
keyboard is loud. I couldn't hear you.
Oh, am I quiet or something?
No, I was typing away. Oh, there it goes. All right. Sorry,
Got a
chat.
loud keyboard.
That was a struggle.
Can
struggle
they
sesh.
can't see this, can they?
They're about to.
Atlas
Oh,
and
they
John.
can't see it. No.
No, I
But
got to
this
pull it up.
is
I'll see it.
this is the website right here. Not much to it right now, obviously. Get mud cookies. Something delicious is
delicious.
baking.
That's
and
so
it
good.
has a light and a dark mode. So getmudcookies.com.
What is that symbol?
It's supposed to be a cookie.
It's a mud cookie. I drew it driving down the road.
I think it
I
looks
feel like
good
that looks
because
like something that you need
Atlas.
to look up. I
If you
promise
actually
you.
look up the Haitian mud cookies, that is spot on.
I
My
promise
local
if you
pizza
look at
place has the
Pizzagate,
same
you'll be
symbol.
surprised at what that looks like.
Hold on. One of you got to go at a time. Sorry.
I think we're saying the same thing in different ways. I was saying my local pizza place has that same symbol.
Okay, word. Okay, I'm glad you got that, John. I saw that too. They have no idea what we're talking about.
Oh,
Zeb,
pizza?
when you just doodle unconsciously, just pedophile symbols come out. That's just what happens.
No,
Oh,
I had
no.
I had a
Oh,
direction
no.
that I was trying to go with. I mean, it looks like a mud cookie, dude.
Is that
It doesn't.
I
No,
was-
they
trying
want
not
to
to be
run with
explicit.
Pizzagate, and that's fine, but that's not what this is.
Cosmic Arcade? We're reopening the Cosmic Arcade, or is that what it was called?
Oh,
Pizza Comet.
Comet
Comet
ping
Pizza.
pong.
Comet Ping Pong.
That's what
Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Zeb knows.
John, it's what are you talking about? That's in your backyard. What are you talking about?
234 Pennsylvania Avenue. It's open from 6 to 8, and yeah, it's just I just said it's Comet Pizza.
Frank says, "Am I a post meal?"
Are you?
I mean, yeah, I guess, yeah. Pre-meal? No, that's a no-go. Anybody pre-meal, not coming to Nav.
Yeah,
Just
what is
kidding.
it? Pre-meal,
I don't know.
post-meal,
We'll
A-meal?
judge it at one at a time. Sorry.
Yeah. We'll have Christian conversations later.
All right, where are we at?
Oh no, I'm reading too.
Chat, any other questions before we peace out of here?
I do want to, while you're waiting for questions, I appreciate everybody who joined us. I know this was kind of an administrative sort of a stream, just launching and introducing and things like that. I think I can already tell we're going to have some absolutely fantastic discussions, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, as long as we can stay on topic, John. But no, yeah, I think we can. Obviously, these Sunday shows are going to be some. Huh?
I said, not if I can help it.
Obviously, some of these Sunday shows are going to be in this type of vein, more of a general discussion than anything. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll see where this goes. Obviously, I'd like to bring on some more people, some different people to add conversation to that. And as we go through, we could probably, I think, now that I think about it, we could probably get 2 or 3 shows actually up and running before next Sunday. So I'm going to work on that on top of everything else, along with some of the other guys on the back end. Reach out to some of you probably in the chat and make that happen. Can we topic a government style change? I don't understand the question.
He's saying like, should we something like, should we switch from democracy to monarchy? I think that's what he means. Something like that. Like if we're going to change the style of government, what should it be?
Oh yeah. I think that's definitely on the topic board that we were running. I mean, I'm a monarchist. I think everybody here is, maybe not John, but
I want a Josh Tatership where only people allowed in government are people named Josh.
and they eat taters all the time.
That's what it sounds like. Yeah, that's where my brain went.
Josh Tatership. Just a bunch of Joshes running around with tater chip
Collabing
bags.
with Mud Cookies. Josh Taters and Mud Cookies coming to the birthday party. We cater.
All right, chat. First of all, I want to thank everybody for being here for the launch of the New Revolution. That's what this is, the New American Vision. We are starting something that should snowball. I've kind of game planned it. Obviously, I can't tell the future. Psych. But this is going to snowball. We picking up some big names. I've already dropped a couple of those today. That's gonna start rolling downhill extremely fast, and you get to say that you were here for the launch stream, for the grand opening of that itself. We're gonna give you one at a time to sign off if you want to plug your socials or give any input to touch on anything else we talked with this couple hours? Go for it, gentlemen. Who wants first?
Is this like you kind of forget how to speak there for a second? What's going on?
I was reading chat and trying to talk at the same time. It's a bad habit we have over here because chat's on screen with us, and I read and speak at the same time. It's probably something that we shouldn't do, but we do because we love you. We love you, chat.
I'll bow out first here again. Thank you, Zeb. Thank you, Josh. Thank you, Atlas. You can find me on YouTube at John Ward. You can find me on Twitter at not John Ward. Follow at your own risk. Not really trying to grow. I like you guys. I mean, I like my world champions, but follow these guys before me. They're going to be doing it a lot longer than I will. So that's my two. That's it. I'm done.
Josh?
You can go to YouTube, Joshua Vandernoord. We're soft launch of the Joshua. Well, the first ever debut episode was this past Saturday. It accidentally went on Outside the Overton. We're going to be porting it over. And you can follow me on Twitter at Josh Vandernoord. Hello?
Where did he go?
Me?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. Yeah, no, you can find me at Atlas Thugged. You'll be able to subscribe with the collab feature. We're going to be using that as we get more used to functioning with the new channel with Nav Creator. Yeah, follow me on YouTube. Follow me on X if you'd like to as well. I really don't care if you follow me as much as I've pushed this point once again. So I'll leave you guys with this. We need clippers desperately. Clipping, the importance of clipping the show cannot be understated. So much so that I've been making burner accounts to try to get the ball rolling on the back end myself to see how it can work out in metrics there. But appreciate everybody for being here. Crisis King, deport Cash Patel, and ban Pam Bondi from Public Life. And,
Let's go. Let's go. To kind of caveat on the collaboration feature that Atlas mentioned, YouTube does allow that. The problem is they don't allow it for live streams, which is the oddest thing. It has to be processed before you can collab. So what's going to happen is after this live stream, as long as it's finished, as soon as it's finished processing, we'll add a collaboration feature with all of our links in there, and it should show up something similar to being on their own homepage. So we're going to abuse those types of effects, features as much as we can moving forward. I'm Zeb Boykin. Me and Josh are kind of changing things up. We're going to maintain Outside the Overton as a podcast. Josh has his channel now, which is Joshua Vandernoord. And then I'm going to change ours over to Zeb Boykin. I'm going to start doing a little bit more video. So go find me over there, pre-recorded video, obviously. Go find me over there at Zeb Boykin, and then Zeb Boykin on X also. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the launch episode of New American Vision.
We love you.
Pieces.
I'm glad you really prepared the sign off. Thanks for putting the work in.
Chad just likes
He's got to
looking.
work on those.
So I'm going to let him.
Just end it now. End it right now.
Heart goes out. Isn't that how we sign off? But no, we appreciate everybody for stopping by. John, thank you for giving me your time. I know you're a busy man. Atlas, you also.
Happy to do it.
We're going to get this thing rolling. Thank you, gentlemen. Josh, I don't care about you.
I love you too, babe.
Later.